Call them the E-Force of the Florida Keys. They're the officers of the Fish and Wildlife Commission, sworn to protect the environment and the people of Florida's most southern waters. On this episode of E-Force, the Keys go wild for Bartenders Weekend.
A lot of fights, a lot of people being under the influence.
And when things get ugly, the E-Force springs into action.
Get down, John, get down, get down.
Plus,
it could be very dangerous. You don't know what's up there, you don't know what's in there.
who's invaded this deserted island?
What are you doing?
It's another beautiful day in the Florida Keys. The sun is bright, the waves are blue. But if I were you, little fishy, I'd swim away. 'Cause here comes Bartenders Weekend.
A lot of people in the restaurant industry and the bar business, bar owners, things like that, they come down and they have a little expo here and just basically let their hair down and do whatever they want to do.
The official name of this restaurant industry convention is Hospitality Weekend, but the people in the Keys know what it's all about.
You get too many people in one spot and you mix alcohol in it and everybody starts going all wild.
That's why the folks here know this as Bartenders Weekend.
You guys want good filming, follow us around the next 2 days. You just gotta buy the gas and the beer.
No wonder the officers of the Florida Keys Fish and Wildlife Commission are out in full force.
A lot of drinking, a lot of fights, a lot of people being under the influence.
Signal 13, sandbar, unusual behavior. We could have an officer if you want to check him out.
Copter pilot Joe Martina flies pretty much non-stop above the festivities.
A lot of times the violations that are occurring are inside of where the officer can't see it. He's looking at a line of boats, but he doesn't see what's beyond that line of boats. So I can sit there and overhead and look at that and say, look, I know you guys can't see this, but that boat behind you has got this type of a violation occurring, and they can go in on that boat from another area.
That guy's tanked.
That's one of those things, probably in about 5 or 6 hours when he starts to sober up, he's going to go, don't know why I did that.
No surprise, the biggest problem with Bartenders Weekend is drinking while driving boats.
People got to understand that when they come out here and they party, they drink, they can have a good time. They just can't operate the boat while they're impaired, because when they do, we're going to come out here and catch them.
The E-Force has a temporary drunk tank set up especially for this occasion.
Some of these people are so impaired, they don't know any better, and they just jump in their boat and drive it. And I think we make a difference out here by preventing that boating accident from happening.
Yep, this is going to be a weekend that puts a whole other spin on fish and wildlife.
We don't want to take away your right to have fun, but we want to make sure what you're doing is being done safely.
But not all the action during Bartenders Weekend happens where the crowds are. The entire E-Force of the Fish and Wildlife Commission is on high alert. Officer Dave McDaniel is on the lookout for trouble in the quiet waters.
There's a canoe sitting right up in a trailhead here, right off the shoreline. A canoe, a little trail going up in the woods here. At least I haven't seen that in this area.
Here in the Crocodile Refuge near Key Largo, Officer Dave has found something that looks mighty suspicious.
Could be somebody in the woods with a rifle or a shotgun or something like that. Could be a poacher up in there poaching crocodile eggs. It could be very dangerous. You don't know what's up it. You don't know what's in there. Okay. Well, I really don't know what I'm going to get here. What are you doing?
Coming up with the E-Force.
I don't know what what this is about.
Who is lurking on that island? Plus,
It's getting pretty crazy out here.
things get nasty at Bartenders Weekend.
All units on the sandbar, there's going to be a fight.
And the A-Force is ready for action. All this and more next. The official title is Hospitality Weekend, but everyone calls this Bartenders Weekend, and the craziness has begun.
Look at the madness over there.
Officer Chris the Hammer Matson is one of a battalion of officers out trying to keep this pack of people calm.
People are out here trying to have a good time, trying to have fun, just partying.
But under the heat of a high noon sun, things are beginning to get tense.
It's getting pretty crazy out here. You see all the people on all these boats. I mean, it's ridiculous. There are so many people out here. That's not good. People don't need to be doing that.
Then someone throws a bottle into the crowd.
Get down, Jeff. Get down. Get down. You got somebody that's throwing a deadly missile, a bottle of beer into a crowd.
You almost hit me and Rob.
Get out of the way. Go in there. Hey! Hey! You could just hear the crowd getting more riled up. All units on the sandbar, there's going to be a fight.
With all the craziness of Bartenders Weekend, you'd expect these officers to come down hard on anyone found breaking the law. Officer Seth Kern even brought along some backup for help.
I'm here with a Border Patrol agent. We do a lot of work together here, joint agencies.
Ever since 9/11, you never know who you catch out there, especially down here in the Florida Keys.
4701 Manhunt.
So what do you think these fine officers are going to do on this case?
1065, possible trap routing in progress. We're tied up to some traps out here. Got divers in the water. We'll trap routing in progress.
We just received a report. Bayside, Isla Mirada, small vessel, was along several trap lines out there, and that they had been pulling on the trap line itself. I don't know if they're actually pulling the traps or what they're doing right now, so we're going to go take a look at it and check it out.
This could be major arrest time. Sounds like someone who might be stealing lobster traps.
How's it going, man? They're tied off to a trap. I mean, they can't do that.
Watch, this boater's got not one, not two, but 3 strikes against him. Is he out?
You need to see a license, do you?
Yeah, I think so. You don't sound like you're from around here.
I live in New York. New York? A bit removed from this.
I don't think you're born there, were you?
No. We live in New York.
You live in New York?
Yeah.
How long have you been living there?
What is it? 13, 14 months?
Well, I mean, U.S. Border Patrol.
Okay.
Okay, immigration.
Okay.
Um,
Got the whole spectrum.
are you a resident of the United States now?
I'm on a visa.
You're what?
I'm on a working visa.
You're on a
my
working
office.
visa?
Yeah.
Do you have your visa with you?
No.
You have your passport with you?
No.
Where are they?
There with our luggage.
Strike one.
You're probably like they're going back to Buckingham Palace in handcuffs.
You're supposed to carry your passports with you at all times.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. If you don't have them with you, you can be subject to arrest, possible deportation.
I'm scared to death, man. They think they're getting deported today.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's friendly, not even a warning, friendly advice.
Well, they let him off on that one. but 2 strikes to go.
Is that an anchor line, y'all?
That's just what was floating.
Okay, well, y'all need to throw your anchor down here. That's somebody's trap right there that you're tied up to.
Strike 2. He's not stealing lobster traps, but he's not supposed to be tied to the trap's buoy.
Oh, I thought that was a buoy for us to tie up to.
From here, it looks like somebody's trap buoy. Yeah, because we're dragging right now. You're dragging his trap across the bottom.
Now he's got to give him at least a ticket, right?
No, when you're out here, sit an anchor out. Don't be tying off to people's traps. It's a good way to make a trap fisherman very unhappy with you. So, the best choice is just give him a written warning for it.
But then there's the 3rd strike.
All right, do me a favor.
Yep.
Take that fish out of there.
Yep.
You know what you got there?
Yeah.
It's a lean snapper.
Alright.
He's got to be 8 inches for you to keep.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
not 8 inches.
No, that's not 8
Put him
inches.
back.
See, hold him up. See how small he is?
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right, yeah, go ahead and chuck him back in for me.
Okay, get ready for the big ticket.
Just so you know, here in Monroe County, it's $295 a fine per fish, and it's a 2nd-degree misdemeanor, which means it's a jailable offense.
Wow, okay.
All right?
Alright, yeah.
So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Just gonna write you a warning for the fish, okay?
What gives? It's Bartenders weekend. Don't these cops take no mercy?
I'm not gonna sit there and come down hard on them. I mean, they come out there, and he was honest. He said, you know, I got a fish in here. And as soon as you could tell as soon as he opened up, it was an undersized lane snapper. I mean, I'm not gonna come down on something like that.
Yeah, you guessed it by now. These good-hearted cops would rather teach you a lesson
And y'all need to untie that line right there, okay?
than give you a ticket.
All right, y'all have a good day.
She's gonna tell me off in a minute.
I don't know what this is about.
Away from the crowds of Bartenders weekend, Officer Dave McDaniel has found a suspiciously empty canoe on the shore of a crocodile refuge.
Once I got up to the front of the boat, I could see somebody walking back out of the woods along a trail. There's somebody coming out now. And he had something in his hand. I couldn't really tell what it was. He put it down when he started coming to me. What are you doing? I didn't know what it was. It looked like he was some type of container he was carrying. Bring what you had. I don't know what's going on up here. I don't know if you got crocodile eggs in there or what.
I work with crocodile eggs.
You work with crocodile eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm spraying the Australian pineapple.
Oh, okay, okay. What it ended up being is just a guy up here doing exotic plant removal.
These are all exotic plants that I'm killing. These species are not native to this habitat, and because of that, they're particularly good at taking over this area because they don't have any native predators or herbivores in this area.
And that's exactly what he was doing. He was going in and killing the Australian pines because they're not native to this area. They're imported, and they just kind of took over South Florida a long time ago. And
If we didn't, I mean, this entire area back in here in 50 years would be a solid stand of Australian pine, and take over the native buttonwoods and mangroves that would normally inhabit this area.
all right, we're gonna get out of here. Let you get to work. Get rid of that Australian pine, nasty stuff.
So this suspicious character turned out to be a killer, a plant killer.
These pines gotta die.
Coming up on E-Force,
Hey! Get out of the way!
tension erupts at Bartenders weekend,
You got a visual on him?
and a manhunt is on.
Where is he?
This and more next on E-Force. The scene at Bartenders Weekend is ready to explode.
We got a fight going on out there somewhere.
Someone threw a bottle into the crowd, and Officer Chris Matson, with his E-Force, has to capture the person who threw it before things get out of hand.
Take off your jacket if you're gonna go over, so nobody can grab you. We had like every boat out here immediately. You saw all the other officers jumping onto the boats in order to apprehend that suspect. I can't see where they are. Is it that guy right there with no shirt?
Yeah, the guy keeps backing up.
Oh, Glenn, he's coming your way. He's got no shirt on, to your right. He's walking that way, Brad. Hey! Hey! Get out of the way! He's about 50 yards south of the man of war. You got a visual on him? I know he's right in that area. I don't know where that guy is. Glenn could have had him when he lost
The thing about Bartenders Weekend, you got the officers protecting folks from other folks. But you also got guys like Dave Dupre protecting the waters.
Sorry, can you hear me? You can't be in that area with a combustible motor on your boat. You'll have to come out.
You see, this part of the Keys is a fragile environment.
All the seagrasses, all the coral are all protected in the Florida Keys. It's a national marine sanctuary. We want to prevent any damage to the seagrasses and to the coral. If there's boats running through the flats, that's going to destroy the flat and destroy the resources.
Now that boat is stuck on the flats.
The problem is, he's not allowed to run his engine inside that zone. The only way he's going to get out of there is to run his engine to power out. They're going to start the engines in a no motor zone, tear up the flats.
Will that boat be able to drift out, or is it going to rip up the seagrass and coral with its engine?
Well, I'm going to wait and see what he does. There he goes. He's getting it off. That's good. He was very kind about how he took care of the problem. He moved the vessel, didn't bother starting up his engine or anything like that. He worked hard and pulled it out. But not everybody's going to do that. Captain, thank you very much for taking your boat out of there. I appreciate your help. Most people are not going to be nice as you were. They're not going to grab their boat and work hard at pulling it out.
The only reason we're here today, I know my son-in-law and they're coming down. They said, we'll be on that side. And I said, okay, then you can't miss us.
Yeah, it's a non-combustible motor zone, so you really shouldn't have a combustible motor in there anyway. But you were just on the edge, you know, so I just wanted to explain it to you.
No citations going on this time. Just one Fish and Wildlife officer protecting the environment.
If they wasn't out here, it'd be a disaster.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. Hey, have a good day, all right?
All right,
Take
yeah.
care. It's really great for us when people say, thanks for being out here, because most of the time you end up thinking, well, these people probably really resent the fact that they're just out here having a good time. They're just recreating, and here we are, we're stopping them again. And that's our job. It's nice to hear from people that they don't really mind the fact that we stop them.
In the midst of the merriment of Bartenders Weekend, Officer Liz Reese makes what could be a painful discovery.
That is a man-o'-war jellyfish. They're reputedly one of the worst jellyfish in the world as far as how painful the sting is. They have a set of tentacles that they actually can extend and retract. I've seen some where they've been like 10, 12 feet long. People get stung by them frequently. Generally, it's not going to be a death-causing type of sting. Not everybody gets an opportunity to see a man-o'-war jellyfish, but now you guys have. And if you see one, give it a wide berth. You don't want to make contact with it. You'll remember it if you do.
You saw him?
Chris the Hammer Matson and the rest of the E-Force are trying to catch the person who threw that bottle, but they're not having any luck.
We tried to go after the man that was fighting, but when you have that big of a crowd and there's an area you can't get to, which is where he went into, we lost sight of him. Then we couldn't get sight of him again.
Just then, the Bartenders weekend crowd lets out a cheer.
They got him? I heard you guys on the radio saying that. Nobody got hit? Everything's okay? They got him in custody. He's down on one of the other boats down there, so I'm putting him on the patrol boat there.
Okay. You won't throw no more bottles at us.
Could have been a disaster had somebody got hit, you know, in the head. It could have been a concussion or a brain injury or anything like that. Big open gash. That guy got his just desserts right there. He's being transported in. Probably going to be charged with aggravated assault with a deadly missile. Good job, guys.
It was good. It turned out all right. Nobody got hurt, and we got the guy we were looking for.
Thanks, guys.
Next on E-Force, more Bartenders weekend madness.
We got a man and it looks like a young girl, but the young girl's in control of the jet ski.
Find out why sometimes Daddy can't drive. Bartenders weekend is winding down, but there's still plenty of folks out having a good time.
Watching that jet ski.
Officer Chris Mattson just wants to keep them safe.
We got a man and it looks like a young girl, but the young girl's in control of the jet ski. So we're gonna stop him and see what the deal is. Go ahead out into the middle of the channel, sir. I'm gonna come up alongside you. You have to be 14 years old in order to operate that. Those things involved in a lot of boating accidents. Is that your daughter? Yes. You're allowing her to operate the ski. How old is she? 9? Okay. Gotta wait till she's 14.
5 years, John.
The thing is with her being in control, she's a young girl, and there's a lot of boats out here that are cruising around, and you know, the ski gets away from her or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write you a warning today for this. Okay, just make sure that you're on the front.
I'm sorry.
I truly believe that he was unaware of this situation, and we just tried to educate him about the different boating laws out here. All right, guys, be careful.
Nice kids out here.
What I need
You have to press start. That's why it's beeping. That or this isn't plugged in right. If it beeps like that, something's not right.
Hold on.
Maybe she should be driving. And that's what it's all about, is to make sure that they know and make sure that they can go home at night and sleep in their beds and wake up the next day. We don't want to have to explain to the family members what happened to the people.